Hello! Welcome to the Realm of Comics, where we discuss everything manga, comics, and graphic novels. So today I am here to talk a little bit about a pretty popular series that has pretty much made its way across every single corner of the internet. I mean, every single corner. And that is Spy Family. I held off on reading Spy Family for the longest time because everybody was talking about it. I mean, people that I don't typically see read manga were picking up Spy Family. And so for me, it's one of those things where I was like, ugh, everybody's picking it up. I don't want to read it and then be disappointed. And so I'm here to talk a little bit about whether Spy Family is actually worth the hype. So if you're new and you don't know anything about Spy Family, never even heard of it, which at this point is like, it's kind of low-key impossible because everybody feels like they have heard of Spy Family at some point, at some time. This focuses on a spy who is well known for his disguises and every mission that he does. And so essentially we are following him as he is assigned a new mission. His mission is to infiltrate this group, and specifically he has one target guy, but the guy is practically a recluse, a loner, and he doesn't really go out like that. The only time that he's really seen like mixing and mingling is when he's at this academy that his child attends. And so his mission is to acquire a child because he doesn't have a child, to acquire a child, have that child enrolled in this school. That way he can infiltrate this group, get, you know, connected with this guy because it's the only way that he's going to get a connection to him. And then he finds out in order for a child to attend the academy, they have to go through this extensive like examination process. And then he finds out that it has to be a mother and a father duo who go through this examination process with the child. And so on top of finding a child, eventually he also has to find a wife. So it's this really, really absurd setup that I think a lot of people have enjoyed. But now let's talk about like whether I liked it. What were my first impressions? Do I really think that Spy Family is worth the hype? As someone who reads manga, I don't primarily read manga. Y'all know this. I read a little bit of everything when it comes to like the graphic medium of literature. I read comics, I read graphic novels, and I read manga. So I'm not solely focused on manga, but what I can say is that I can see why Spy Family would appeal to a lot of people, why it has been a series that people have readily enjoyed, that they continue with, that is often recommended. I think it has mass appeal, and I think that it's a good entry point into the manga world. I think there are a couple series that have been like that in the past that a lot of people are familiar with, that they've read, and this is just one of the latest additions to that group of manga that I think are good gateway pieces. That's the word I was looking for. It's a good gateway piece for people to kind of like, oh, you know, I want to try manga, I don't know where to start. Spy Family for a lot of people is going to be that place for them to start. With that being said, I really enjoyed this. Not only do I see the appeal, but I think it's good storytelling and good artwork. I think this idea that we're getting a spy who, you know, successfully completes his missions and now has to bring in what he assumes to be two just random people to play this role with him, and he cannot tell them like, hey, by the way, I'm a spy. I'm bringing you on board with this whole entire program because of the fact that I need to complete this mission. I think that all three characters in this book are definitely playing a role. They're playing this facade, or they're playing up a facade. They're wearing a mask. This is not who they truly are, none of them, and they don't know that. So each one of them has secrets, and they don't know what the secrets are of the other people. So it's actually kind of cute because we as readers are privy to who they really are and their innermost thoughts. And they're not necessarily, I don't want to spoil it, they're not necessarily always privy to that information. So it's kind of interesting to see the three of them kind of work together. And I love how the mangaka with this actually explores the realistic feelings that come with the building of this family. So our main character, he's very much so like, this is for the job. I'm a spy. That's it. That's all I want. And I just want to complete this mission. But there's going to be some attachment, and I'm glad that the mangaka has allowed for this attachment. It's not blatantly obvious all the time, but there's certain scenarios, especially when it comes to Anya, who is the little girl when it comes to her, like, he knows that he shouldn't get attached, but when you're spending that much time with a child, especially because Anya is a child who has experienced what I feel like is a lot of trauma around adults, and she feels very safe with him. She feels very secure. She doesn't want to be in a position where he's not actively playing the role of her father. She really needs him in her life, and I really appreciate that the mangaka allows it to happen. And kind of the same thing with the woman who comes in and is playing the wife. All three of them have, I think, these gaps in their interpersonal relationships, this sense of security, this ability to feel secure with another human, to feel love with another human, to have friendship with another human. And so because I think that's been missing for all three of them, to see the three of them come together and be able to feel that energy, to be able to feel that connection with one another is super, super special. And I'm glad that the mangaka did allow for that. And I think that that's the aspect of this that a lot of people find so charming or endearing and really, really cling to this book, because it's like, oh man, like, you know, the three of them are really going through it individually, but the three of them together is like an unstoppable force. This is also a quick read. The artwork in this is probably just some of my favorite artwork, and I'm going to tell you why. A lot of times when I read manga that has intense action scenes, the artwork becomes a little bit more difficult to decipher. It becomes like something that's a little difficult for me to process, really, to be honest with you. And y'all know, as someone who is reading an art-based medium, I am looking to the art very much so. Like, that is a focal point for me whenever I'm reading stuff like this. And so to pick this up and to read and see the artwork, especially with the action scenes, because there's going to be action scenes with him being a spy and her having a certain role that she's filling, they were very clean cut. They were very easy to interpret and understand in context of the text of what was going on. It didn't feel messy. It didn't feel like it was too much on the page. And I really, really appreciated that. I do plan on continuing the series because I feel like this is good. This is one where, like, everybody's like, I love it, I love it, I love it. I'm like, I don't know, I'm not gonna read it. I don't know if I'm gonna love it the way everybody else loves it. And it is. It's one that I have essentially enjoyed like everyone else. I own volumes 2 and 3, and then whatever I don't own, I will check out from the library. But if you had not had the chance to read Spy Family, you've been nervous about reading it because of the hype that's surrounding it, and you're just like, I don't know if I'm gonna enjoy it the same way that everyone else has enjoyed it, I am here to tell you, pick up Spy Family. It is really good. It is an enjoyable series from what I can tell just based off of volume 1. Really accessible, great point of entry for anyone who's never read manga before, who's interested in getting into manga. Go for this one. All right, y'all, in the comments down below, let me know if you've read Spy Family. What are your thoughts about Spy Family? As always, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more content from me, click the subscribe button, hit the bell for notifications. And if you're looking for ways to follow me on social media, all those links will be down in the description box below, and I'll be back with another video soon.